Hey folks, what's happening? Danny Burke with BurkeSpeed.com dishing out a little bit of analysis for tonight's pair of games for Monday Night Football. But before that, look, I hope you survived Sunday's slate of mayhem. Upsets galore, survivor entries crashed and burned, and I was no stranger to that. Our teaser leg got crushed because the Jacksonville Jaguars appeared to have put on pads and helmets for the first time yesterday. So if we would have known that, I'm sure we all would have avoided trusting them in any capacity. Yeah, they killed our teaser. The Dolphins did more than enough to hold up their part of the bargain, but Jacksonville couldn't have given less of a crap about that game. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, our other play, Kenneth Walker anytime touchdown, plus 102, helped salvage that a little bit. He ended up with a pair of touchdowns, so that was nice to see. So we end up 1-1, but hoping to trickle into the positive column after tonight's affairs because we're riding the Bengals on the money line. Now, I did a write up on this at BurkeSpeed.com. If you want the full in depth analysis, be sure to check it out there. But I'd play it all the way up to minus 145 on the money line. I snagged minus 130 earlier in the week, and I believe there are some prices around minus 142 in my neck of the woods here in Illinois. So be sure to shop around. But long story short, I think Sean McVay now playing out of his division will show what this team really is. Are they going to be an absolutely dreadful team like a lot of people expected? No, probably not, but I don't believe them to look as competitive as they had the first two games because of them actually going outside of their division now. It's a benefit to have that familiarity to play your division opponents at the beginning of the year for a guy like Sean McVay. So now that you're going a little bit further out, right? You're going up against a pissed off Bengals team that is expected to have their starting quarterback playing in Joe Burrow. They're going to be ready to go as Cincinnati. And Joe Burrow, now that we've seen this happen a couple of times in the past, struggles the first 2 weeks of the regular season after coming off that injury. Then week 3 is when he comes alive. So they'll be ticked off because they've lost those first 2 games. They got to get organized. They got to look like the dominant team they know they can be. Also may have a little bit of chip on their shoulder, right? There's the Rams team that knocked them out of the Super Bowl win a couple years ago. So, yeah, the Bengals will be fired up and ready to go in tonight's game. So Bengals is what we're counting on. As for the other game on Monday night, I don't have an official play, but sort of a lean that I have if I were going to play anything, I'd consider Baker Mayfield over 21.5 pass completions. Now, minus 120 is the juice to the over, and I don't mind the 21.5 necessarily, but don't really want to lay more than I have to on this prop. The assumption is, for me at least, yeah, the Buccaneers probably going to be trailing, needing to throw the ball to have success in this game, to play keep up, whatever it may be, because even if they aren't trailing, they still should look to attack the Eagles secondary, who now, after 2 games, rank 18th against the pass in DVOA, have a 67% completion rate is what they've been allowing. Mac Jones had 35 completions against his secondary. Kirk Cousins had 31. Now, Baker Mayfield had 26 pass completions against the Bears, 21 against the Vikings, but they ended up winning that game and had the advantage a little bit earlier on, so they could afford to run the ball. But again, it doesn't mean that Baker Mayfield's going to have a tremendous effort in the passing game because, let's face it, the Vikings and Bears defense are absolutely dreadful. So it's a little too early to completely know if Baker's actually going to be consistent in the passing game. So I'm holding off. If I had a better price, I'd probably pull the trigger, but we're not there right now. So sticks with just being a lean as of this moment, but that's what I'm rocking with for Monday night. Cincinnati Bengals on the money line against the Los Angeles Rams. Hopefully we can trickle into that positive column, concluding week 3 of the NFL. Hopefully you're able to cash some wagers as well, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Again, be on the lookout for tomorrow's content. Where's the beef with the team? I'm sure you can guess who's going to be cracking that list. And then an update on the futures bets we made last week. I think we're looking all right, betting on a Coach of the Year candidate who then proceeds to put up 70 following our wager. So we'll update you on those numbers and much more tomorrow at BurkeSpeed.com. Best of luck and take care, folks.